Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about the difference between a wide tonal, high contrast, and low contrast photograph. There'll be a Kahoot quiz on this topic that you can take after this. And the idea behind this is really I want you to understand how to make a photogram with both a wide tonal, high contrast. These are different things. So we're going to explain what they are. Asymmetrical composition, that should be review. And then positive and negative space touching all four sides with a 50-50 makeup of positive and negative space. All right, so let's get started. First of all, the eyes are amazing things, can accommodate 24 stops of light difference. That means we can see, if you think about it, all these different forms of gray. We have the ability to see all kinds of different details. Cameras actually don't have that same range as our eyes. A really high quality camera can actually accommodate almost as many, but not as many, so up to 12 stops according to this. And then some digital cameras, a lot of cell phones, for example, although they are getting better, can only accommodate up to 5 stops of light difference. So your eye is the most amazing thing, and that's why sometimes you'll notice if you take a photograph of something that you saw that was amazing, and you look at it later, you'll think, wow, like the photograph's beautiful, but it just didn't capture what I saw. And that's probably because, again, your eye just can take in more information. So value is the lightness or darkness of a photo. And obviously, in this particular case, there are many ranges of values. So if we're talking about something where you have, this is a value, black, right, white, and all these different midtones are all different values, this is what we call a wide tonal range. So when you look at this gorgeous photo, you should see black, you should see white, but you also see a tremendous range of grays in the middle. And so that value is considered to have a wide tonal range. Here's another excellent example of a tonal range with a very wide value. And what you're basically looking for in a wide tonal range is you'll see something called photographic black. So somewhere in the photo, you'll see something that's as dark as it possibly can be. That's photographic black. You'll see photographic white, and then you'll see many ranges of gray. So that's a wide tonal range. A high contrast image, on the other hand, you'll see photographic black, you'll see photographic white, and then generally speaking, for a high contrast image, a lot of the midtones, a lot of the grays in the middle, if you look at this beautiful photo, have been knocked out. So they're really either not present or very sparingly present. So high contrast photography is very popular, looks great, but obviously you'll notice that a lot of the details in a high contrast photo typically are no longer showing, whereas you can see all the different layers in the clouds, and you can see the texture on this cannon and things like that. So it depends on what you're going for. It's just a different aesthetic, that's all. All right. Low contrast photography, on the other hand, what it's lacking usually is, especially photographic black, you're not going to see a lot of that. You generally also don't see a lot of photographic white. What you do see in a low contrast photo actually is more of the midtones, so you'll see a lot of the grays. And low contrast photos actually have more details in them, but again, you're lacking that high contrast situation, so that wide total range is knocked out as well. So I'm going to give you guys a quiz in just a minute, and what I'm going to basically ask you to do is identify a couple photos and say, is it a low contrast photo, high contrast photo, or does it have a high tonal range? So as an example, if you look at this photo right here, which one do you think it has? And the answer here is if you can see photographic black, photographic white, and you can see lots of grays, which obviously I can, that would be a high tonal range photo. Obviously, if you see something like this, where you don't see the midtones, that would be a high contrast photo. And be careful, because you're probably looking at this one, and my instinct is to say, oh, low contrast, but look carefully. If you see photographic black, photographic white, which I clearly see, and lots of grays, this is actually a high tonal range photo. Whereas this one obviously would be a low contrast photo. So that's contrast in a nutshell. So take the quiz and just be ready to share your results. Thanks, everyone.